I'm Justin6, and this is another vlog, and today is Monday, and it's the week after the game jam, and today's the day that I normally talk about game design, so that works out perfectly, as I basically spent all of last week making a game. It was the first time that I was working with other people for a long time on a digital game. I actually worked with a bunch of people that I have worked with before. And when I say a bunch, I mean 2 artists, both 3D artists, and 1 musician. And yeah, it was a really positive experience. I've always enjoyed working with them. I just kind of stopped working with them because I decided to stop working with everyone. I just wanted to take time by myself to develop skills so that I'm more useful, basically. Because when I first started, when I was 14, was the first time I worked on a game. Where I was just doing writing back then. As I got more and more into game development, I realized that there's so much to learn, and I just didn't want to, on one hand, didn't want to rely on other people doing stuff and basically making my ideas, because I was in a leadership role in my second ever major game making project. And then second, I just wanted to, if I'm going to tell people what to do, I want to kind of better understand what they need to do. And I also want to be able to do stuff myself and kind of lead by example, if that makes sense. At least for now on the programming side of things. Though for this game jam, I was the only programmer. Though one of my artists did help me with some stuff even there, which I'm thankful for, obviously. But yeah, my design process while making this game, and I think I'll just play some footage of the game right now. So you see kind of what I'm talking about while I'm talking about it. Because it was a roguelike game jam, I had to make it a roguelike. So the very first thing I did, and the first 2 days of the game jam, basically, I just spent trying to make sure procedural generation would work. Though in the end, the final version does not have procedural generation. The functionality is still in the final built version. It just doesn't make use of it. And the reason for that is basically, even though I figured out how to use it, it wasn't generating the levels in a way that I liked. It was spawning stuff in walls, for example, which is not ideal. And the reason for that is basically the random generation thing that I used. The base of the code was originally meant for 2D, and it was based on a grid system. So whenever I tried to spawn things that don't fit the grid, it can't properly determine where to put them. So it'll think that if I put it in this grid spot, it won't be in the wall. But because it's so big, it is in the wall, if that makes sense. So because of that, I decided in the end to make 2 just pre-built levels. I wanted to do multiple, but I did not have time to make a bunch of levels. And then I would have randomly selected between the levels instead of just procedurally generating them. So that it would still be kind of like a roguelike feel. Yeah. I also didn't originally want to make it a first-person shooter. That was an idea I had because I wanted to make sure that it was a full 3D first-person thing. But I wanted to somehow make more non-combat oriented gameplay, which in the end I did add some jumping puzzle type stuff, which I enjoy. I don't know if anyone else will, but I enjoy it. And then I ended up implementing just first-person shooting, because it's just a lot easier, and I was running low on time. And yeah, I didn't really have much of a choice other than just not finish the game on time, which wasn't an option. I worked super hard to I spent so much time on it, and this is probably the best game I've made ever. Which, yeah, even though it's the best game I've ever made, it's probably not going to be the best game you've ever played. It was made in a week. I am not a super experienced developer. I am still learning programming. I'm still learning design. I'm still learning everything. Though the art I do think is just awesome. The 2 artists that I was working with are super talented. The music I also love. The musician's very talented as well. Though I wish I would have implemented the music better. Because I told him to make it modular, which I understand now how to make it modular, but it would take a lot of time. And I also, even though, I could keep improving this game. There's so much I could do to make this game better, but I don't really want to, because I just want to keep learning and move on to the next project. And eventually I'll probably stick longer with the game. My long-term vision right now is to eventually get in the cycle of me working on a game for 6 months and then move to the next project. 6 months, next project, which 6 months I feel like would be enough time for me to make something like really good that I'm like actually proud of and would maybe even be willing to sell. Because right now, like, I'm not gonna spend a week on a game, even if I spent I spent a 23-hour like work period on the game at least one time during last week, and I pretty much only worked on the game. I definitely will try not to do that again, simply because it's super unhealthy. But I tried very hard to make it a good game, even if it's not like revolutionary or amazing. So I would appreciate you playing it. I'll put a link down below in the comments. This vlog is getting released a little bit later because I wanted to fix the game first. I released the game initially yesterday actually, but in a broken state, and then I had to go visit my family. So I fixed it today. It should be fixed now. There might be some bugs that I'm unaware of, but it's playable now. So you should go play it, and I should stop talking. Though if you have any questions, then you can ask down below. At some point during this week, I'm going to do a tour of my apartment because that was requested as a video. I'm not sure if I'll do that as a separate video or just as a part of a vlog. We'll see. And otherwise, you should subscribe and follow if you want to see more vlogs, because I'm going to be doing daily vlogs still this week. So see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.